Welcome to Folding Towels, a podcast for massage therapists with Jackie and David. If you are enjoying our episodes and want to support the production, consider buying us a coffee. Your contributions help us bring you more insightful discussions and expert interviews. Follow the link in the show notes or visit buymeacoffee.com/Folding Towels podcast to contribute, and thank you for your support. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Folding Towels podcast. It's me, David. Jackie is away. She is on the River Murray in a town called Waikerie, having a wonderful time with her family. They get some pretty dark skies up there. You've heard us talk about dark sky reserves before, so I imagine that she is having a wonderful time at night time, in particular, looking up and seeing the heavens. We've had the parade of planets recently. You can see Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus and all those fun things with the naked eye, and it is really spectacular. And she may have even gotten lucky and seen the Southern Lights. If so, Jackie, I am jealous. Wish that I was there with you. Now, we've got no banter today because it's just me. So we're going to launch into a businessy episode. Again, we've had some feedback from some of you saying, hey, love the podcast, but don't really relate to business side of things because I'm in a clinic and things are just done for me. That's cool because we do bring you a variety of things affecting massage therapists, from the solo therapist on their own journey, having to do all of the things, through to more clinical-based work and experiential things affecting all of us in this beautiful industry that we are in of a massage therapy. Today's episode is called Building a Client Base from Scratch, the 10 strategies that worked for me, and that's for me, David. Just because they've worked for me, disclaimer, doesn't mean that they will necessarily work for you, but I hope you appreciate the story that is behind this, because I wasn't always a massage therapist. I did have a government job and it had a regular salary, and that's one of the reasons why I stayed in that job, was because it was safe, even though it was crushing my soul. But I did reach a point where I was ready to leave. So building a client base isn't easy. Some do make it look that way, but it is possible. You just need to work at it. My backstory, so back in 2001, I did my first massage course. It was just a little one-dayer where I learned to do a back, neck and shoulders routine. And I was a sports trainer at the time with a footy club where, cringe alert, the head trainer would do things like get a rolling pin out to work on a corked thigh and all those types of fun things. So I learned quite a good number of bad habits, which would probably ruin my hands a bit by working on footy players who at the best of times can be a little bit brain dead in the types of things that they are asking for in massage. So I did that for quite some time. And it was back in 2014. My first child was now 2 years old. I was really dissatisfied at work. And but my wife was saying, look, you're actually quite good at massage. I wasn't in the footy club anymore at this point in time. You're actually quite good at massage. Have you thought about physiotherapy? I looked at training, 4 years full-time work. I'd have to quit my job, and then study physiotherapy. I thought it's not feasible, but I could study remedial massage, one subject at a time, still work full-time, and that would be quite manageable. It was perfect. So I enrolled, and after completing the first two subjects, which was around 40 hours of training, I'd earned the advanced certificate in relaxation massage. I decided that I was going to start taking on paid clients. So I took out insurance. I joined an association as a student member. I registered an ABN. I opened a Facebook account, and suddenly I was in business. But getting my first real clients That was a bit of a challenge. So we are going to look at the things that worked for me. So keep in mind, I was still working full time at this time. So I had the luxury of not having to try and fight for food on the table. So I started like a lot of people did back then. I had bought a logo off of a website, like fiverr.com, something like that. I had a color scheme that went with that logo. I had my business name and I printed 1,000 flyers. I designed them myself using Microsoft Publisher. And then I sent them to Officeworks for printing. And I walked around my neighborhood dropping them in letterboxes. I did that several times. Net result, I got 2 clients. It was about $80 investment. One of those clients is still with me after 11 years. So in terms of ROI, that $80 investment has bought me thousands of dollars in business over those 11 years. And someone has probably told you that letterbox dropping doesn't work. Hey, it wasn't a great investment of my time. But letterbox dropping does work. That's why you see flyers in your letterboxes, because people take those flyers, they put them on their fridge if it is something that they are interested in. If it's not, it just goes to landfill or recycling. If it's something they're interested in, it ends up on their fridge until they hit a point of need where they can grab that flyer or that card and call the number that's on it. And the people who letterbox drop, they do it regularly. People mock letterbox dropping, but it can work if you're prepared to commit to it. It's not the most efficient use of your time, let's just put it that way. So the next thing that I did was that I took out a free add-on Gumtree. So this is 2014. I wouldn't recommend it now. At this stage, I had just discovered an online booking system called Setmore. The big clinic practice management systems hadn't discovered online bookings yet. And at the time, I was thinking, surely there's got to be a way where someone can just see my visibility and book online. And Setmore, which was my very first clinic management system, offered that. It was designed for hairdressers. So I took out a Gumtree ad. I linked into Setmore, and I was at a homemaker center one day, and I get this text message notification. Someone's booked with you today for 45 minutes time. And I was like, I've got to go home. It worked. I then learnt about quiet times and booking time out from that system. But Gumtree netted me my next 5 clients. The downside is that 2 of them were dodgy, who asked for extras, and this was a little bit awkward. But one of those clients turned out to be absolute gold. So I'd had my ad up for 2 or 3 weeks at this point in time. She was looking through Gumtree for a massage for someone who was local, and I lived 3 streets from her. Now, she was a beauty therapist. And if you can land a beauty therapist or a hairdresser or someone in personal services, then they can become a walking billboard for your business. Hairdressers and beauty therapists, they talk to everyone about everything. They know if you're going on holidays. They know what's going on in your personal life. They know what's going on at work. If you have a sore back, they will tell you about the people that they would recommend that you see. And this person has gone on to refer dozens of people to me. I've treated her friends. I've treated her friends' husbands. I've treated her daughter through pregnancy. I've treated her mum. And she continues to see me now. After 11 years, she's one of my OGs. And she continues to refer new business to me. And that is gold. It's absolute gold. So to talk about online visibility and building some authority. By this stage, I had moved house and I was massaging out of a spare room. My second child was on the way, and that spare room was about to be my baby's room. So I built a it was a kit, essentially a kit home. I built a granny flat in my backyard, and I thought I'd better start taking my massage more seriously because I was quite dissatisfied at work at this stage. So I built my first website on a budget. It was one of those like GoDaddy type things, pay $1 for your first month and then it's dirt cheap for the first year. Using just a very basic WordPress template. My theory was just get it done. If you try and make it complex, you'll never get it done. Just a one-page website, just get it up there. So I did that. It was a simple site with two, maybe three pages in the end, plus a blog. Then I linked it to Google My Business, which is now called Google Maps. And then I started asking my clients to leave reviews via Google Maps or Google My Business. Not directing them to, just saying, hey, if you've enjoyed your session tonight, do you mind leaving me a review? And I was seeing maybe 4 people a week at this stage quite consistently. And it was paying for my tuition, my massage tuition. So the basic website gave me some credibility. It gave me something to be found on, particularly as people looked locally. And it gave me something that I could share, and it gave me authority because people could now start to build some familiarity with who I was, which led me on to blogging. And blogging seems to have died in popularity now. I'd argue that it's still quite important, certainly an important part of my business strategy, because I started writing articles that they did have a health and wellness focus, but there were more stories, relatable stories. And they had a mental health focus. Maybe it was a focus around participating in my first fun run and training, for example, and the point of getting to the finish line uninjured. Things that people could relate to. And some of them were personal stories as well. And so I'd share these blogs onto my Facebook page. And because they were personal and relatable, they got shared a lot. And you can track these things where they're popping up and the like. And people who found me through those stories felt like they already knew me before making a booking. So I was blogging. Initially it was weekly. That got a bit much, and it became monthly, and now it's kind of every 3 months I'll write a new story and share that, which you can then share across multiple platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Repurpose it for email, because these things they're around forming a connection. But they're also things about consistency and allows you to stay front of mind. Like a good story is far more valuable than a motivational quote or a stock photo of a salon that doesn't even look like the room that you're practicing in. And it allows you to form a connection with the reader. So by now I was getting pretty close to leaving my workplace. I'd worked up to, say, 12 clients a week. I was seeing 2 people on a Tuesday night, so I'd finish work at, say, 5:36. I'd come home, have dinner, and I'd start work again at 7:30. It wasn't really work because it was all relaxation, massage. I'd see someone at 7:30. I'd see the next person at 8:30. And I'd do that on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Sometimes I'd see one person first thing in the morning on a Wednesday at 8 a.m. and then cruise on into work. Sometimes I'd rush back at, say, 5:30 on a Friday to see someone, and I'd usually see a couple of people over the weekend. I had about 100 people in my system, and I started sending out monthly email updates. I'd often use the story or the blog and repurpose that for the email. And I had this rule of no hard sell. Like just don't sell. The people in your system, they already know who you are. If you have the email address, they know you. They know what you do. They value what massage is. So this was purely a tactic to stay visible. And I treated these emails like I was sending a postcard to a friend. It was a simple update and a hello. Because I hate that my email inbox is just full now of marketing messages. Often doesn't even have my name on it. It's like Woolworths or Coles or whoever's got my contact details now just sends essentially a catalog to my email address. There's no personal connection, so I delete that stuff. But I really value the businesses and the individuals that take time to write to me. I know that it's coming out of a list, but it's written in such a way that I can read it and have interest in it. And that's it's been really successful. I can say with consistency that if I sent an email today, I would get usually 6 to 10 bookings from someone re-engaging with me within the first 48 hours of sending that email. And I know that these emails are being read because when people come back in, they say, I read your email and I really liked your story about blah, blah, blah. Apart from feeling good that people are reading my stuff, it just validates that that method of marketing still works and people like it. I went back to study in 2014. In the beginning of 2014, I finished my diploma about halfway through 2016. So it took me 2.5 years. I left my job in July of 2016. I hit the ground running, 15 people booked in my first week. So one of the next most powerful things I started to do was to follow up with clients. If someone inquired but didn't book, give it a couple of weeks, follow them up. You gave me a call the other day, just seeing how you're feeling. Oh yeah, I'm feeling heaps better now. Oh, that's great to hear. No hard sell. People feel really awkward when you try to sell to them. But it's about being friendly, approachable, forming relationship. So after an appointment, check in 48 hours later. Ask them at the end of their appointment, is it okay if I reach out to you in a couple of days to see how you're feeling? If they say no, just make a note of that. And you'll see them whenever they next see you. But if they say yes, would you prefer me to call, send you an email or a text message? Make a note of the way that they want to be followed up. And then send that message or send that email or give them that call. I saw you a couple of days ago. You came in, you had a bit of pain through your right hip, just seeing how you're feeling today. Oh, that's great. Have you tried doing such and such? Oh, you're a bit sore, are you? That's quite normal. Reassure them. And the response from that, people appreciate when you care. And when you follow up, you get repeat bookings. So the next thing that I started to do was to build some relationships with referral partners. Like a lot of massage therapists, I started to approach some PTs. It's a pretty flooded market. If you go on Instagram, if you have an Instagram account and you look at a gym or a PT's personal profile, you might find half a dozen massage therapists following that business or individual, and then they'll be busy trying to comment on those posts to try and be visible. But going direct, and I found a couple of independent gyms near me, smaller, a bit more family orientated places. I found out who the trainers were, I approached them directly, and I offered them some free massage in exchange for feedback. Is this the type of service that will assist you as a trainer? How are you feeling? What did you like about it? And then I gave them cards and an offer to be able to give to their clients. And my time with those PTs, it was around. It was a trust building exercise of, hey, do you have clients who do this? Well, this is how I can help you for your client to be able to get the best possible gains out of their training. Like clients get discouraged, they might get sore. lose motivation, maybe get the start of an injury forming. Well, this is a great time for a massage therapist to get involved so that the person can keep training and doing what they love, and then for the PT to see those results, for the client to see those results. And I have two personal trainers who still send clients to me on a regular basis. They don't come in for free treatment anymore. They come in for paid treatment because they value what I do. We've built that relationship. And I send people to them as well because I trust them intimately to know that they're not going to damage my clients physically or psychologically. Because gym trainers, they see injured people every day and they love having referral networks, especially people who aren't going to tell their clients to stop training. I lost a bit of confidence in working from home because I wanted to be busier than I was for my own financial stability. And in my poor judgment, I decided that moving into a gym would be the silver bullet, and then I'd get busy with gym people. And I moved into a CrossFit gym. And this has been widely regarded as a poor business decision, except for one thing. The business owner there talked to me about micro influencers. So don't chase the big fish. Look for the people who have a good, solid following and seem to have a personal connection with their followers, but who are small enough not to want to come at you with an unreasonable offer. Reach out to them, offer them a free massage, and just see if they'll take a free massage in return for a shout out to their followers, because who doesn't love a free massage? So I found 5 small fitness influencers in my local area. 4 of them led nowhere. One was gold. And we maintained a relationship for probably 6 years before she fell off the rails a little bit and her following left her. She'd come in every 3 months or so, every post. So every time a free massage, there was no cash exchange. Every free massage was a post to her network. Without fail, 5 new bookings from that. Some of those people are still with me and have been with me for a long time. I treat their husbands and their friends and extended relatives. It was a terrific way of getting seen by an audience that I didn't have trust with, and using the trust built by the influencer bought me bought me that trust in a hurry. So influencer marketing can work. You need to find someone who's a very good fit with you, and who won't just try and you read those stories about influencers coming in and say, "You will give me this thing for free. Don't you know who I am?" Okay, well, you are going to possibly give them something for free or a discounted rate, but it is done as a mutual thing. So 2 more things. My own sport community became part of my client base. I was training in Japanese jiu-jitsu. It was one of the inspirations for getting into to massage. And as I learnt new techniques, I would offer free treatments to my teammates, and they became my paying clients. But the biggest sign of trust from that is when someone sends you their mum. If someone sends their mum to you, like they trust you intimately. You peeve off somebody's mum and you know about it for a very long time. But those people still come to see me. Um, One's an electrician. He's done work for me around the home as well. One's a plumber. One's a police officer. As some have become pregnant, I have looked after them during their pregnancy. So your own hobby and your own sports community, if you have a particular special interest area, can and should be a goldmine for referrals. We've heard Kylie just talk the other day about how footy players won't work for her, but people who hike, she's into that jam because she's a hiker herself. She's embedded into that community. Yes, I understand what you do. That's an area that you really should be leaning into. And the final thing that which really got things moving for me was I attended some local markets. Typical chair massage. I had my chair and my table actually, $1.50 a minute. So booking for 10 minutes for $15, 20 minutes for $30. And I made those people fill out their client information form. They knew at the time of booking that they would go onto my email list. It was actually a great time of visibility because my name was being shared fairly frequently at this point. And people would come up and say, "Oh, I've seen you on Facebook and now I've met you face to face." So it was that trust building thing. But it wasn't the $1.50 a minute thing that I was there for. Sure, I generated some cash on the day. It paid for my stall. In fact, it more than paid for my stall. I ran a raffle. The raffle included massage and some other products and things I'd purchased from other local businesses in the area. And you get this gift hamper, but you need to leave your details if you want to be in the draw to win this hamper valued at $500. You need to leave some details. The terms and conditions were quite clear that you go onto my email list and that I would use that list to send you information from time to time. And of course, people can opt out of emails. If you send them an email, they can unsubscribe. That's completely fine. But it grew my list. I booked packages on the spot. I captured contact details. And by the middle of 2017, full-time business as a massage therapist for a year, I was regularly seeing 20 to 25 people a week. So there you have it. Those are the 10 solid ways that I built my first client base from scratch. It wasn't easy. I had to work at it. But if you are consistent and if you stay visible and you build relationships, not just transactions, build relationships with people, you will do well. And I remember going to a business meeting where someone said, overnight success usually takes years to achieve. And sure, I got started in 2014, and that's 3 years of evolution that you've just seen. But it was really 18 months that I really knuckled down. I'd love to hear from you. What's working for you? Will you send me a message through Facebook at Folding Tales Podcast or through Instagram? Pop onto our LinkedIn page, send me a message. You'll find the show notes in this episode there. Or even head to foldingtalespodcast.com.au, head to the Contact Us page and send us a message. I'd love to know how you've built your practice from the ground up. And if you're struggling a bit and you don't know where to start, send us a message. We'd love to be part of that journey with you. Maybe we can point you in the right direction and uncover some gold like I was able to do. Until next time, if you are enjoying what Jackie and I are doing on the Folding Towers podcast, why not leave us a rating or a review through Spotify, through Apple Podcasts, through iHeartRadio, through your favorite listening app. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. We have brought you this information completely for free, and if you have found it valuable, we'd love it if you could make a small donation towards the podcast through buymeacoffee.com/Folding Towers Podcast. The details are in the show notes, and there is a link on our website. But until next time, take care. Keep building the massage practice of your dreams in this big, beautiful world. I'm David. This has been the Folding Tales Podcast. Bye for now.